the US politicians, even including the Secretary of State, they condemn the violence happening on the Capitol Hill, and they say they would prosecute those people who carry out that sort of violence and chaos. But you recall that back in 2019, when we have all those mayhem erupted in Hong Kong, when we have law enforcement, when we have prosecution raised against those accused, they say those are political prosecution. So now if there's anyone who is against the law, there should be law enforcement and there should be prosecution raised against these protesters. We are doing this, but at the same time, when we are doing those prosecution, then they just smear the arrest, they smear our prosecution as with a political prosecution and stuff like that. So that only heralds their double standard. So I would suggest the US politicians, they should mind their own business instead of meddling with our own politics. The extremist behavior when they're storming the Capitol Hill, right now it's actually disgraceful. It causes harm to everyone. And I think even US citizens, I believe that a lot of people are very angry. At the same time, you imagine, you look back to what happened back in 2019, exactly the same thing happened here. People stormed the electoral complex, petrol bomb being thrown everywhere. And I think it actually hurts everyone in Hong Kong too. So I think if people could consider the impact, the consequence of these all violent protests, then you know that how bad is it. And people are actually very angry because that sort of violent protests and the mayhem indeed affect a lot of people.